Arsenal didn't play well. Sporting CP actually dominated. We didn't look like scoring, but yet somehow King Kai Havertz saved us at Lisbon, taking a good advantage to the second leg at the Emirates. This is your Sporting CP versus Arsenal match reaction stream. Well. Remember when we were struggling against Man City and, of course, Southampton, and the trolls were out there for us. Yes, I know we deserve to have done better. No arguments in that regard. The loss to Man City was painful. The loss to Southampton was even more painful. But obviously, you can see the gulf of quality between our first team and the folks that we have on the bench. Clearly, there's a difference. The performance today was awesome. Our lads just did what was required of them. Let's be real, this scoreline doesn't tell the full story. We were not dominant against Sporting CP. We didn't play our free-flowing football that we are known for. We didn't have that much control. This was all about grit. From the very first whistle, Sporting CP made it very uncomfortable for us. They had the high press. They were very aggressive. They even had that awesome chance that Araujo had, where Diomande used the outside of his boot to unleash his inner Frank Beckenbauer and play the ball in behind Ben White. Ben White had an interesting game, in my opinion. But he blasted a shot, and David Raya was on hand to make an excellent save. We kind of looked a bit off. But one key thing to note here was that we held on. And at the end, we got what we deserved, which was the victory. So let's just talk about this game, look at it in hindsight and how everything panned out. Because, man, it's all about David Raya. Starting with the confirmed lineups, as expected, Sporting played their strongest XI. Rui Silva was in goal. Ivan Frasneda played on the right-hand side. Maximiliano Araujo played on the left. Araujo, for some reason, escaped this game with the yellow card, and I don't know how that happened. Man, the guy was just making tackles after tackles and fouls after fouls. But for some reason, the ref was quite lenient with him. The captain of the night was Gonzalo Ignacio, and they played alongside Usman Diomande. In midfield, their captain, Morten Hujman, who was suspended, obviously, for this game, and he was replaced by Hidetosa Morita. Morita played alongside João Simão. In attacking midfield, they had Francisco Trincao. On the left-hand side, there was Pote, that's Pedro Gonçalves. And on the right was Reni Catano. The striker that replaced Gyökeres, Luis Suarez, then led the line. Suarez had 33 goals in 42 games coming into this game. So obviously, he's actually the main man on form for them. As for us now, we made wholesale changes to that useless squad that cocked things up against Southampton. David Raya, thank heavens, returned in goal. Like the gulf of quality between Raya and Kepa Arrizabalaga is like night and day. My goodness. The two games that Raya was not available for selection, with Kepa leading the line in the goal. You saw what happened. Against Man City, he put his hand and somehow the ball passed through it to go into O'Reilly's path for the goal. Against Southampton, he was just flapping on whatnot, Simple low drive that they gave to him went through. Raya received loads of low drives, just like Kepa, but you could see the difference. He made outstanding saves. Ben White played on the right-hand side. The Timber confirmed not even traveling with the squad, as that was forced with a decision to make. Was he going to use Ben White, who had a terrible game against Southampton, or use Busquera, who will not really offer much offensively, but at least you can count on him defensively? On the left-hand side, there was no way in hell that Lewis Kelly was going to come into this game. Calafiori came ahead of him and played very well. In the middle, I was so happy to see Gabriel play alongside Saliba. But if Gabriel had not played, I would have still been okay. We have Arsenal domination in the building. Good evening, Dom. How you doing, brother? Looking forward to your shots on this as well. Our lads have just done what was required of them. Get that narrow win or taking it, to the next level at the Emirates. In midfield, we had Martins Mendy, who had a long rest. Yes, he played 13 minutes for Spain in the first win against Serbia, but he's had a knee issue, and of course, the Spanish FA sent him back home. So he sat out the Southampton game. Same with Declan Rice, a player that needed that much needed rest. Obviously, there was so much drama around Rice and Saka when they were pulled out of the England squad. But as you can see, Bukayo Saka didn't even play this game, so his injury is quite legitimate. So we have Dom here. He says, good win, massively psychologically, and two late important goals from Havertz in the last two European games. Havertz is just an amazing player for us. He might not be everybody's cup of tea, but this is what he does. When he gets that clutch moment, well, don't think of it. He has already had his own fair share of misses. At least I know my man Rory is always quick to talk about how he missed that chance against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final, how he missed the open goal against Man U in the FA Cup third round, how he missed the one-on-one chance against Man City in the Carabao Cup final that we played a couple of weeks back. But Havertz give it and Havertz take it. And Dom says, at least you proved that my phone is working. It has gone quite. Man, I agree with you, bro. The abuse was just out of this world. Haters were just all over that case, and you can see now that they are all quiet. When I go to the office tomorrow, I'll be going to their phone one after the other, just asking what's up, just know what they're gonna say, man. Because they were so adamant that even Sporting will add to our woes. Yes, the Man City game, clearly it was the error that led to that goal that O'Reilly scored, and of course the second goal that killed off the game. Southampton, we had 23 shots, but for some reason we could not just finish our chances, and they came back to haunt us. But this time, man, we just did what was required, but of course we have to have Raya to thank for it. In midfield, we had Rice, our captain, Martinelli, that still working his fitness. And in attack, Victor Gyökeres came back to his former stomping ground. What is CP fans? They still love it. 97 goals in 102 games was, as FK would say, gargantuan. In the flanks, we had Leandro Trossard and Noni Madueke. So let's just have a quick look at the stats. Sporting CP actually had most of the domineering stats in this game, and that was expected. They were the ones at home. They had such a massive home record. I think they had not lost in a couple of months since they played against I can't remember. It was Porto that beat them a long time ago, and they've held that record for quite a while. But you can see here they had 11 shots with 0.84 xG. They had 5 shots on target, 16 shots touches in our position box, 2 big chances. While us, we had more passes than them, as you would expect, with them having more fouls committed. Looking at the XG, they had higher open play XG than us, just 0.1 though. Same thing with set plays. For passes, we had 510 passes. They had 405 passes. Of course, we had the 92% pass accuracy. We actually played very well with our passing accuracy this time. And of course, we had much more passes in our position half. We had more interceptions, more blocks. And of course, Raya had 5 saves, 5 amazing saves from our goalkeeper. And I think that's just where I'm going to spend some time on right now. David Raya. My goodness. You can go game after game, think of how Raya has been the one that single-handedly kept us in some of our games. Look at Chelsea, when Garnacho had that cross that almost went into the goal. You can talk about Brighton, Yankuba Minte. You can talk about Tottenham, that Richarlison flick that have gone into the goal. You can talk about Brentford. You can call games after games after games where David Raya was the sole reason why we actually won or drew them. Without Raya, we would not have even been in this tie. Big save after big save after big save, commanding his area, calm under pressure. Can you guys remember that terrible back pass that Zubimendi gave him? That if he had done anything crazy, that would have been a penalty for Sporting. But he was so calm and composed in that moment. This is what you need in the Champions League. Moments. And Raya gives us multiple moments. The first thing you have to credit our lads. Gabriel and Saliba were great as usual, absorbed loads of pressure, and we didn't collapse. Calafiori had a serious job on his hands playing against Rene Catano. Rene Catano is a very, very skillful footballer from Mozambique. You know, if it was Luis Kelly, I don't think it would have been the same outcome. Like, I'm kind of concerned to a certain degree the gulf of quality between our first team and the backup players. Raya, Raya and Kepa, totally different. Mosquera, to a certain degree, at least, is not as awesome as Gabriel and Saliba, but he's quite awesome. He's someone that if you get to their age, you'll be as good as them. White and Timber is quite sad to see. Like, White was heavily exposed yet again. Thankfully, Pedro Gonçalves was not in the good form that we know him to have. But Ben White, man, I want to attribute it to the fact that he has had too many injuries and he's really struggling and whatnot. But in any game Timber is fit, good Lord, please just play him. Like, I don't know whether we need to probably sell White and invest in a new fullback, maybe someone like Michael Kayode, who can add his strength to our repertoire of set pieces. But Ben White is a player that I love. He has been with us for 5 years now. He came in 2021, £50 million from Brighton, and he has been an ever-present player for us. But yes, what I can just say is that okay, he has given his all to this club. Even when he was injured, the games when he played. But these things are taking their toll on him. His defensive performances have been very suspect. Like very, very suspect. Why did my life change? Oof, my goodness. The defensive performances have been very suspect, and I'm really concerned about it. Saliba did what he did. Declan Rice too, someone that played very well today, but man, that guy needs a break. But unfortunately, he can't get it. After all the Arsenal exhaustions, he has the World Cup to contend with for England, and of course, you'd expect him to do the same thing for them. So I'm so happy that Raya was on this game. He made 5 amazing saves, even a double save at some point when he first saved the Catano's ball. Then Suarez rushed him and he made a rebound. This guy is such a good goalkeeper. And I know that he's going to certainly get the Golden Glove for the Premier League this year. But I hope he also wins the title because he has been very instrumental to us. Then, of course, comment the hour, comment the Kai. Martin Odegaard did his Odegaard things, moved around, had a couple of passes here and there, no influence, continued to play very safe, which is quite strange. But eventually, he was subbed for Kai Havertz. Why are my lights? My lights are just acting funny. Whatever, man, I give up. Just when we thought this was going to be another draw, Martinelli showed great movement, caught him, and lobbed a perfect ball to Kai Havertz. Like the way he evaded his marker was brilliant. His first touch, top notch. His second touch, beautiful goal. As my guy Dom rightly said, 2 late important goals from Havertz in 2 European games. With age unavailable due to injury, I'm happy that other players like Havertz are stepping up. Martinelli is someone that has come over a lot of stick from Arsenal fans, but in this game he came on as a sub and did what was required of him, which was perfect. I'm just grateful to see these lads. Yeah, that one actually did okay, but Araujo tackled him way too many times, man. It was just tiring to see. So going to player ratings, my man of the match clearly was David Raya. He gets an 8 from me. Made many important saves in this game. Showed his mettle. Showed how important it was to us. 5 saves. Commanded this area as you would expect. Yeah, I forgot to and all that. Did very well. Even the save that he made from Araujo. Everyone actually thought that ball clipped the bar, but it was the slight touch that Raya had on that ball that took it to the crossbar. If Raya did not touch that ball, that would have gone to the roof of the net, which was quite amazing. Ben White, he gets a 7 from me. He had his struggles, in all honesty, in this game, but he kind of recovered well. Pote struggled. Because of Ben White's performance, Pote was sold for Rafael Nel, so I'll give White a 7. Calafiori gets a 7 as well. Did okay, inverted well, tried so hard against Rennie Catano, and of course held his own. Gabriel and Saliba, 7s as well. Luis Suarez didn't get a sniff. He had only one opportunity, which was the rebound, but besides that rebound, Gabriel and Saliba held him down very well. It meant he gets a 7. He was quite deep, had a lot of passes, led the game well, did okay. Declan Rice gets a 7 as well. Typical Declan Rice performance, all action, as you'd expect from him, but he looked tired towards the end though. Odegaard gets a 7. I thought I expected more from him, but then again, I know that he's coming back from injury, so I have to also cut him some slack as well, which was quite okay. So I'm guessing that he's going to work his way to full fitness while sharing minutes with Kai Havertz. And when ability Izzy comes, he'll also share some minutes with Izzy as well. Madueke did okay. Him and Araujo had such an interesting fight. Sometimes Madueke needs a couple of take-ons that were successful. Other times it wasn't too successful. But it was very good to see that he had an all-action performance. He continued to probe in that flank, even though there was no respite. But eventually, he was solved for McDermott. Trossard gets a 7 too. He worked hard on the left-hand side, supported Calafiori from time to time, had a couple of neat touches here and there, tried to create a couple of chances for Gyökeres, but it didn't work. Gyökeres has the lowest rating in this game. He was isolated most of the time. How many touches did he even have himself? Let me see. He had 17 touches. That's not good enough, man. But just one of those things you have to contend with. So what does this mean? Arsenal had the 1-0 win against Sporting, and we're taking that result to the Emirates next week. Elsewhere, the great Bayern Munich. What's wrong with my lights, man? Change the slot right now. I don't know why my lights are acting up. Can you just stop? Thank you. Jeez. What was I stop? Yeah. Bayern Munich, Harry Kane, Luis Diaz, defeated Real Madrid in Real Madrid. So Mbappe scored for Real Madrid. Bayern Munich is a serious threat, man. Like a serious threat. So what they did to Atalanta disgraced them like terribly. And now they've come to the Bernabeu and they're doing this to Real Madrid. Crazy. Tomorrow, Barcelona is going to play Atletico Madrid. PSG is going to play Liverpool. Liverpool coming up the 4-0 loss to Man City. And PSG just smashed 8 past Chelsea. It's not going to be nice for Liverpool. But we don't care. Our next opponent, I won't say Brighton, I won't say Brentford. It was actually Bournemouth. When we played Bournemouth last season, they beat us 2-1. This was around the period when we were trying to really prioritize the Champions League. We were going from Evanilson and Hoyson, who left to Real Madrid. This is going to be the lunchtime fixture, 12:30, which means that if Arsenal wins Bournemouth, we can be 12 points ahead of Man City before the game against Chelsea on Sunday night. So obviously we'll be looking forward to this one, and hopefully our lads will have enough to get the result that we need. So guys, that's pretty much it. We got the result we wanted. Kai Havertz, our big goal, big moments player, did what was required. There are a couple of concerns. Our performance was a bit disjointed, but I'm really happy with this performance. We take this momentum to the game against Brighton. Why am I calling them Brighton? Against Bournemouth, and get the results we need, which is the 12 points. Then when Sporting CP comes to the Emirates, we'll give them the Bodo Glimt treatment, smash them, while waiting for, by that time, we would have known who we're going to play, if it's going to be Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. But no, I'm not going to count my egg before they hatch. I was thinking of playing Man City and Chelsea in the FA Cup semis only to get smashed by Southampton. So I'm kind of humble right now. So what's important to note is that we're getting a very good goal against Sporting CP, which gives us a good advantage going into the Emirates. And I'm looking forward to it. In the course of the week, I think I'm going to do a video on Aaron Ramsey. He just retired. It's nice to release some of his moments with the club. And of course, we'll build towards the Bournemouth game. I got it right this time. And of course, match reactions, as you'd expect. I'm getting close towards 5,000 subscribers. You guys have been awesome on this channel. Thank you so much as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next stream. Until then, come on, you Gunners.